Hey guys, it's Matt937 here. Apologies for the quality. I wanted to talk and film, so I opted just to use a camera. So hopefully you better follow along, okay? For the past few weeks I've been doing terraforming tutorials on my blog, and I want to put them all together and just make a map. So I'm just going to head over to my blog just to see what you've all been requesting. And I'm going to be making a large tropical map with mountain, hills, rivers and an island. So over in Reddit's a Tycoon I've got my large map set up, and it's 150 by 135 tiles, so that's pretty big. That's going to be my base. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some base terrain painting. Just going to select some dune sand. Just fill the entire park with that. So we got this base. I'm going to decrease the size of our brush down to 1, and I'm just going to randomly spray some normal sand over. And do some stony sand. I mean, this is all rough and random and probably doesn't look too good at the moment, but just to get some differences in terrain texture down. Let's get some light sand as well. Like so. I'm going to just create the island. Be the first thing. So if we just decrease land in one corner, make sure that the contours on, and we're going to select the flatten tool, just flatten down to that depth. I'm going to use this to create the shape of our island. Actually, if you go into the terrain editing mode, you can change this number here, increase up to 9, and then it will flatten quicker. And this will also increase the speed in which it creates hills and mountains and all of that. So you can adjust the speed to quicker or slower, whatever you want. Just try and make the island, instead of being square or round, give it some sort of character. Can we create a couple of islands just off the edge here? Perhaps maybe better if I didn't do such a large map, but stick with it now. Actually, it's quite a lot of ocean, so I think I'll make the size of the island a bit bigger, just to make use of the map. Expand it over here. So and that's going to be our island. And if we just let the water tool, let's fill up to that line there. Looks good. I mean, of course we need to take the background mountains off and change the background, but now that looks good. Now I'm just gonna see if we can give the shape of the island a bit more realistic. So I'm just going to decrease the size brush to about 9, maybe a little bit more actually. 17. And we're just going to get around the edges and try and you can see in some areas it's a bit flat, like over here. It's very flat. So I'm trying to rough it up a bit. I mean, you may want flat sides. Really nice for a beach or something, but as I've been saying with tutorials, I'm using the flatten increments tool instead of the normal flatten one, and this will ensure you get a nice flat surface for building on. So use the other one. It may look flat, but you find your scenery hovering, and it's not too good. I'm just going to try and create some beaches as well, so I'm going to use the Terrain Avenger. It's down here. This is going to smooth the terrain off, which will create a nice smooth beach. And you can see by looking at the trying to create contour lines, you can see they're getting more and more spread out. In fact, in this area here, they've gone completely. So you know it's nice and smooth. Look at that. Get a little beach over here as well. Briefly getting up to the contour line here. Yeah, and you can see, like over here, where it's quite a steep drop into the ocean, and over here where it's some gradient, it's like a beach really. But we seem to have lost these mountains area. We can sort those out. So we also needed, the park also wanted some mountains, and they also wanted a lake as well. I think for the first step is going to give the top of the mountain, top of the island rather, some grass texture. And using the contour lines, we can see this is where the ocean is going to come up to. This contour line here, so we know where we need to paint. So I'm going to choose grass for flowers actually. I'm just going to the area, the main bit in the middle. A big brush, let me just increase it just to touch up. Try and get as close to the edge as I can. It may probably be easier to get the park grass texture instead of a sandy one to start off with. But I've done it now, so section, and again I'm just gonna take some normal grass. Just zoom in, just try and break up all of the texture a bit. And this is actually what most of my texturing is like, at least for things such as the grass. It's just random. When it comes to doing rides and things like that, I do take my time a lot more, so just using all the 3 different types of grass. Like so. I'm just going to get the sand tool as well and just create a little bit more just with the edges. Make it as though like the sand fades into the grass as opposed to the grass just appearing. That makes sense as well. I think it's looking good so far. The next thing we're going to do is just add some mountains. So I'm just going to go and select the raise tool, and we're going to create a bridge. And just to maximize space, I'm not going to even make my mountains too big, probably about 20-25 tiles size. And just raise it. So I just have spread edges. I want to keep this beach area over here smooth, and this outcrop here I'm going to make some mountains. So just this corner here. These islands we created. It's just that bit. I'm just going to decrease the size, and so we can sort of rough this sides up to give them a bit more of a peak. So and select the base texture, and we can choose this grey rock here. Let's cover its mountains. So I'm just going to start with these mountains then. Now, see the contour lines, we can see where the actual steep bits are. So this bit is quite flat, so is this bit. So just going to get some grass and there. So we hit this corner here is flat. There's this bit here. Mountains, I'm just going to add a bit more texture. Let's use this outer rock and just add this bit. So again, just using one brush and just See, we've already got quite a nice texture actually. I think we should come a little bit deeper. I'm going to highlight the peaks, so I'm going to use the dark rock. Highlight the tips. You may want to do this in snow or like that. There we are. Let's move on to this bit. Just tidy up the bottom. Is that looking in? He's touching up. Looking fine. You can spend as long as you want. Texture in your mountains and of course the more you spend, quite often the better it looks, but you don't need to spend a long time. In fact, quite often what I do is, if you're building a park here, I'll focus more on this side of the mountains. Neglect this bit because you're not really going to be seeing it. So, again, I'm not doing a particularly good job on the bits underwater. The base is up. You won't be seeing them unless you do some underwater shots. Just got one more bit of mountains to do. What's this bit here? You can do that. Yeah. Slightly bigger, so the grass and yep, this bit here is flat. This is here. And when you're putting grass on the mountains like this, sometimes it's good to use a different texture than we use for the base. I normally use the rough grass because I think that's more appropriate. The peaks. This peak here, I'm gonna, because it's quite considerably larger than quite a lot of the rest, I'm gonna use the rock and snow to to emphasize its height, maybe put a little bit of snow up there as well. We have our mountains. Right, so our next step is to add the island, add a lake. So I'm not sure where to add this. I can just pop one in the middle. Which may be a good idea. I'm going to just put one into the edge. I'm not sure. So I'll probably put one around here somewhere. So I'm just going to go and just around. Just increase it. See, I'm just doing it a little bit by little bit. I'm not dragging, I'm just clicking. Just going to use the Terrain Avenger just to smooth it out a bit. Again, we can see the lines where the water's going to be filled up to. So I'm going to select dark sand. Just make sure it just goes over the edge there. So you can fill that water. It's not the largest lake, I know, but I don't want to take up all of the ground. So let's fill the rest with water. You can see these areas here need a bit more rock. Down to one, just where this bit's fading off. Change the backdrop. Set that to island. I think I'm going to change my background mountains. Clouds, and there we are. So I've finished island. It didn't really take too long. You can spend quite a lot of time going back and making improvements. But as you notice, this park doesn't have an entrance and it doesn't have a park gas injection point. So what we're going to do is make sure it's open. If we just get some path and place it like so, when we hit play, you see the guest appear of the parking inspector. And this is quite handy because with the entrance and guest injector, guests tend to stay around the front of your park. I can put path anywhere and guests should appear. So they're going to spread around the park. David Walsh sheet, so we can take a screenshot of it. Like so, I mean we've already got guests here, so they can guess and path, so when people download it, they can already got some guests in. And we just need to go and load it. Insert. Just make sure we save this. Shouldn't have taken that long. Screenshot. I mean, this is good just to give you inspiration and an idea. So we're just going to upload that, and that'll be yours to download. So I hope this has been useful, and hopefully I'll be able to do some more. Thanks for watching.